Well, look, we
Yes.
all know I talk to a lot of people, and here's just some tea that, first of all, there is one of Tom or two of Tom's victims that I correspond with. Sarah's like, what?
Oh my God, is this interview coming up? Oh my God.
Sometimes David just comes out with things. And they were very, of course, happy this day, but they're not so happy with Miss Jane. Remember, Miss Jane met the victims and had ice cream and all that. And I think she promised them lots of things during that chat. And I think she's took the photo and has now gone on to live her life, and she's famous and she has a residency and she's on Beverly Hills. And I don't think Miss Jane has delivered on any of those things. Shocker, but she said she would do for the victims during that meeting. And the victims are, I think, not so happy with Miss Jane at the moment. There's some tea for you. See, David can be trusted. He never reveals who said what. That's why if you tell me everything, you're protected. It's when you don't tell me things, I will go and reveal your shit. You get it?
Mm, I do.
But this one's going to be interesting. I want to go to the trial with you.
Let's
I
go.
want to
I'm
go,
in. I'm in.
and we'll cover it for these people. By the way, we didn't talk last time. Miss Adita, well, we're not going to focus on this because we did a whole show, but Dita Von Teese, do you know this? She's very upset. She's like, I don't know who. Oh, she was posting when all this was happening. We forgot to talk last show. She was on her story. I don't know who this is, Reality Von Teese, but they are using my picture. Report this account 2 stories later. And it's come to my attention that Bravo TV is also using my picture. Please report. Like, Dita Von Teese is not happy. Do not use Dita Von Teese's picture, Monica. Bravo, Andy, Sirens, or Shed Media, I should say. Sorry, it's Shed. I think last time I said Sirens. Oh my God. Shed Media.
Dita Von Teese. All right. Well, I don't blame her. I guess that is kind of a misrepresentation of, Dita Von Teese made that name famous, clearly.
Somebody should get Dita Von Teese on a podcast. Hashtag stay tuned.
I- do you have any new thoughts on the Dorit Garcelle fight that continued to trend this week? I thought more was revealed on this latest RHOBH episode. Seems like probably we're not seeing maybe like Dorit's cluelessness, I guess, around race and privilege. I think that's kind of how it was made, but then they do that behind the scenes where they sit the women down and they watch like the scenes, and Crystal and Dorit were there, and Crystal's like, "Oh, I want to give you your flowers. Shut up, Dorit.
I
Um,
saw that.
you this is a tough position. I felt for both of you. How do you feel? You feel like there's a double standard. A lot of people feel like Sutton has a lot of privilege too, has stepped in it. And yet Garcelle doesn't hold Sutton to that same thing. And then, a lot of people do feel like Dorit is clueless and therefore, has these racist moments. Anything changed for you?
You know what changes for me? I'm shocked that this is even being shown on the TV and they're addressing this.
Oh, okay.
That's where my mind goes. I'm
Fair
shocked.
point.
I'm
Fair point.
shocked. I'm not upset with it, but I mean, I thought, Roni season 13 and all this. Isn't this the discussion that Ebony tried to have? Here we go. Everyone's going to say that I defend my friend Ebony. I mean, one thing has something to do with the other. I'm sure Ebony has seen this and reached out to Garcelle and said, great job. But that's just where my mind goes. I mean, why
Mm.
is everyone embracing this conversation? And
No, well, people are not. People are not. People,
not everyone is. People are like,
it's very
a,
50-50
a
where
lot
people
of people have
like,
come for Garcelle, I saw, and said everything is about race. Give me a break.
and a
Dorit
lot
was
of
just
people feel like
arguing.
just you guys just don't like each other. So face it. Like this, that's one of the arguments, right? Is these two women do not like each other. They don't get along. It's not about race. I'm not saying yes or no. I'm just saying,
I thought that was a very real scene. I thought it was a very real scene. I mean, people are picking up on Garcelle saying thank you to the waiter. Dorit didn't. I mean, could Dorit have said thank you for the food and it's edited out? Sure. Like,
mm,
oh, I don't know.
I don't know. You think this is like going to exhaust people and turn them off from RHOBH, or do you think it's a more tactful learning moment?
I think it's a tactful learning moment. I think that we are not going to see much more of it. I guess maybe at the reunion it will come up.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
don't think they're
I
going
know.
to
I wonder
linger
how
on
much.
this.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what?
What? Oh, well, okay, wait. What?
Yeah, I
I
know.
will.
Ask me because I was going to change the subject. So
No,
let's.
I'm going to change the subject too
Oh,
because I want to give you flowers. You have been on our televisions big time over the past couple of weeks. RHOM, my God, I don't know what episode it was, but they dedicated like the entire episode to you and the podcast. And then you're on Netflix reruns for Millionaire Matchmaker and Patty Stanger. And like everybody is like, is that David Yonta? It's so good.
okay. First of all, someone out of all the DMs, someone DM'd me and said, "Are you blowing anyone at Bravo or Pop Media?" Because like this is the most a podcast has ever been featured on the Housewives. Here's what I have to say as I watched this episode of RHOM, which shot to us 4 different times behind the velvet rope. I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, everything was about the podcast. Nicole says, I don't have 45 minutes. Let's do a podcast this way. I mean, there are referring. I'm like, did I cause this whole drama? Did I think like this whole drama on RHOM, like I caused this whole drama. Sorry.
Oh, look
Sorry,
at you.
everyone.
Wow, Mr. Yontif.
That's
Mr.
how I took it.
Yontif.
I'm sorry, Marisol. I didn't say you were a rotting corpse, so don't get mad at me.
They really hate Marisol. Has anything been like reconciled? Boy, they hate Marisol.
My own experiences with Miss Catone have not been the greatest either. I just don't like people who don't think their shit don't stink. That's why I like Monica so far, Garcia. She's still remaining humble in her owning it. I just don't like the where's my drink? Why am I waiting 5 minutes for my seat? In my experience as a person, that's been my experience with Miss Marisol. She thinks she is a fucking Cher, Madonna, Gloria Estefan.
Yep, I
Let's
got
keep going.
it's
I
the
don't like
entitlement you're wrestling with. Okay.
I
Fair.
don't like it. I don't like it. I am like, okay, wait a second. No, okay, so like I'm waiting for you to carry my bags. Don't worry about it. Whatever. Just what the fuck. Like I'm kind of like I'll just do it myself. I don't like people that have the airs. So is anything reconciled between them and Marisol? Guess what? I have to say the same thing. Hashtag stay tuned behind the velvet rope. Thank you. We were on RHOM. And yes, everyone slipped into my DMs. Look, it's a big deal for Miss Stanga. Millionaire Matchmaker seasons 3 and 4 have been added to Netflix. I was on season 3. More people are slipping into my DMs about that, the power of Netflix. Everyone is saying,
Good.
is this really? By the way, the 2 people on season 4 of Millionaire Matchmaker, one was David Yontef. The other is Leah McSweeney.